appreciate where you've gone with your career as an anesthesiologist to where you are now. I'd really love to know a little bit of the stepping stone process that brings you to having written this book. Like, what are just some of the things that led you to this moment?
Well, I was born in 1966. No, this is, what is the path? That's a really, really good question. And what I would like to start off with is that before I was a physician and an anesthesiologist, I was an engineer. And turns out I was recruited by the defense industry right out of college. And I was an electrical engineer. And I worked on the space station program first. And then I got involved with a research and development firm in Cambridge that's now defunct. They were just really like amazing minds that I got to work with. These were like true scientists. And we were designing a system that was supposed to be able to track submarines under the ice cap and using active sonar. And for all of you who are interested in this, and forgive me if I'm going on too long, but back then, we had another, superpower that was a existential threat to this country. And, the problem with that, besides the fact that, we shouldn't be fighting at all, but the problem with that is that, there was so much firepower that were in these nuclear submarines, right? Which would be fine because as soon as they leave ports, we know where they are. But every single, captain of a nuclear sub will go immediately to the ice cap. Why? Because once they go into the ice, you can't track them anymore, and then they emerge someplace else, and nobody knows where they are. That's kind of, where we are with that. And so the technology was supposed to hopefully designed to find these things under the ice cap. So I was 26 years old. I found myself, literally 100 miles from the North Pole in March, April of 1992. And it was a huge adventure for me. I was a young guy, and I was like, I can't believe I'm like up here on the ice pack, drilling holes into the ice to lower these, hydrophones in the water, and we're trying to do these experiments. We had a nuclear sub of ours running, exercises, and then we tried to track where it was to validate our system. Anyway, the point is that at the end of this like crazy 7 weeks that I was up there, it was time to pack up. And what do? It's too expensive to bring all this equipment back to the States. We just took our computers and our data, and we went home, and we just, sank everything into the ocean. And any debris we had left over, all of our garbage, we just burned it. And at that moment, I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? How did I get involved with this kind of pursuit? And I got home, and a month later, I started applying to medical school. And so that's where it led. And what I would like to say about that is when I entered medical school, I was, an odd student because most people in my class came directly from undergrad, having studied biology, chemistry, liberal arts. And I was sort of struck by, how amazing the body is. Like, it's been designed really well. It's resilient. It's adaptable. It has so much like beauty to the body. And as an example, I'll use anesthesia, for example. Okay. An average person weighs 70 kilograms, right? I can give you a medicine on the order of micrograms, millionths of a gram, like 100 micrograms of fentanyl, and it changes your whole experience. So what does that mean? I'm looking at this, from a purely, stoichiometry kind of way, is I'm giving you something that weighs billions of times less than you, billions, and it changes your whole experience. If anything, it leads us to the understanding that, holy cow, this is an incredibly well-balanced, thing, our bodies, or whatever you want to call it, when you can throw in the tiniest pebble, if you will, and the entire, Olympic-sized pool starts reverberating differently.
Make sure y'all head over to benjosephstewart.com, become a member. You'll have access to the growing library of deeper dives where I talk about all the stuff that I really can't talk about on YouTube. Make sure you get involved in the Discord chat. That's where a lot of the conversation is happening, talking about new theories, being able to interweave into the greater conversation that is how we awaken infinity. That's our highest potential. And I just want to remind you, you are the most powerful technology ever known to creation. Wield it like an artist with a conscience.